Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's training. I am super excited for today. Today, we're talking about how to create a wildly successful website for your business. Now, your website is a crucial component of your business, and it is often the place you're going to be sending people from social media or any collaborations you have. You're going to be driving people to your website. So, it is so important that your website represents you as a business owner, your brand, the value you're bringing people, and a level of professionalism that you are trying to adhere to. So it is also the place that people are getting introduced to your services and how you can help them. And it is where you're going to turn cold leads into warm leads and then hopefully into customers. So it is really important that you take the time and make sure your website is communicating correctly, that it is professional, that it is not too overwhelming, it doesn't have too much content, and that it is working for the success of your business and not hindering the success of your business. So let's go ahead and grab a pen and paper so we can take some notes today. Let's dive into the first mistake I see people making in their website. The first mistake I see people making is too much information. Have you ever gotten on a website and you get there and there's just these huge blocks of copy, there's all these images, there's a video popping up, there's pop-ups, there's all this stuff, and you just get completely overwhelmed and you just like, I don't have time for this, and you click out and you move on to the next thing. Well, this is the case with a lot of websites. There's just too much information, and everyone's trying to put all the information that they can in their website, and it's just deterring people away because they just don't have time to sit there and read everything, and they're just overwhelmed. So, one of the first tips I have for you today is to make your website easy to read and easy to digest the information. Remove all the fluff, get rid of all of the unnecessary content that is just going to overwhelm people, and make it super clear and super concise, not only with your copy, but make it clear on what you want people to do with those call to actions. So here are some tips on how to do this. To start, you want to focus on strong headlines. Most people are scanning a website. I am definitely guilty of going through and just scanning a website, looking at the titles and looking at any bulleted lists and focusing on those versus all the big paragraphs of text. And so those headlines are going to be what determines if people read more and learn more about your services. So make sure that those headlines are enticing people to read more, that it ties in people's emotions, that you're connecting with people, you are showing that you understand their struggles and their pain points, you're talking about the transformation and really getting people to want to learn more. So take the time and make sure that those are really beneficial, that those are communicating what you want to communicate, because those are most likely what people are reading. Next, you want to add icons and visuals to use to represent your copy. And this is just going to, again, help as people scan. This is going to stop people from, scrolling down and learn more about what you're trying to say. So definitely use icons and graphics as visuals to help break up that copy and just give people more time to digest the information. Next, you want to break up your copy with lists. I know I'm someone who, as I'm scanning a website, if stuff is broken up into bullet points or checklists, I am more likely to read it than a big block of content. So break up some of your content into lists, and it's going to help people read it more. Finally, give your content room to breathe. Give your content white space. Add white space. Don't be afraid to add some space in your content. And so it gives people time to digest the information and learn more about your services and what you're actually trying to communicate. So definitely add white space into your website and give people time to read that information and not have too much going on. All right, the next mistake I see people making is the messaging is not clear. And I can't tell you the amount of times I've gone on a website and I'm like interested in working with someone and I have no idea what they do. I'm not sure how they can help me. I've learned about where they grew up, I've learned about their college degree, I've learned about their business history. However, I'm not exactly sure how they can help me solve a problem. So, really sitting down and making sure that your messaging is clear is super important. So, that is my second tip for you today is connect through your copy. And now it's often said, may the best copywriter win, because when it comes to people landing on your website, the copy that resonates with them most, the copy that is most clear, is less overwhelming and really connects with them, and people can understand what it is you do. That is going to make the biggest difference in whether someone inquires to work with you or just moves on to the next thing, because the copy is really what is going to determine that. So I want you to look at your copy and remove all the fluff. Take any fancy language out of there and just kind of dumb it down. Because a lot of times also, you know, as business owners, we know all the language and the verbiage of our own niche. Like I know what a brand mark is, word mark is, sub mark is, but someone who is new to branding or new to that, new to design might not know what those words mean. So you want to make sure that you use language that your 6-year-old nephew can understand or your older mom can understand. You want to make sure that the copy is connecting with people in a way that they understand. So another way of really connecting through your copy is by answering these 4 questions. And so the first question is, what is your ideal customer struggling with most? Talk about what their pain points are so they can understand, so they know that you understand what they're struggling with. Next, you want to talk about what are their deepest desires? What do they want with working with you? What are they hoping to achieve? Speak to that. So then that really draws their attention in and they know that you understand what it is they're hoping for. Next, you want to talk about how they're feeling before they work with you, and then also talk about how they're feeling after they work with you. Are they super overwhelmed? Are they stressed? And are you going to help them get more clarity? Are you going to help them? How are you going to help them, solve the problem? And how are they going to feel once that problem is solved? So speak to that, and that is going to really help bridge that gap and build some more connections with your ideal customer. Next, you want to talk about the transformation that you're offering. What is, them investing in your business going to get them? Talk about that. Now, an action step I have for you, and I think I brought this up in the last training as well, is to create a Google Doc with your brand messaging and how to do this and how to get your brand messaging and collect really great messaging for your brand is to ask your audience. Just ask them. The ways of doing this is sending out a survey. I do this every year. I send out a survey, just a Google form, free Google form, and I ask some of these questions here. What are you struggling with? What are your deepest desires? And take those responses and add those to the Google Doc. You can also ask them on social media through polls and those question stickers. You can set up free coaching calls. Any way you can collect this information. I have it actually on my project inquiry form as well. When someone fills out a project inquiry form, I figure out what they're struggling with. What are their goals in working with a branding designer? And I copy their responses and I add it to this Google Doc and I use that Google Doc for the copy on my website for my emails I send them because it is in their language and then we can build a stronger connection with those people because they understand, understand what they're struggling with and we understand exactly what their desires are and we're communicating it in a really clear, concise way. Okay. And the third mistake I see people making with their website is it's not memorable. You get to a website, you're reading through stuff, and it just kind of looks like every other website out there. There's really nothing special about it. And so people are just going to, click out of it and forget it. So, what are some ways that we can make a website one of a kind? And that is by adding a personal touch. You want to make sure, especially if you are, you're a solopreneur, you're the one running the business, you want to add your own personal touch so people can remember you. And so, some ways of doing that is you can share what makes you unique. And I actually just did this on a wedding photographer's website where I added, about page. We had a paragraph about him, and then we had below that, what makes him unique. And one of the things that he added there is he has ADHD. And I thought this was such a great idea just to add something that is, sharing a little bit of his vulnerability. I can't say that word, so I have to say it slowly. But he's showing, a part of him that, might build this connection with someone else. This is going to make someone, as someone searching for wedding photographers or looking at all these sites, they might remember him more because he put that on there. So definitely share, what makes you unique and what makes you different than your competitors. Share what you can't live without. I actually have this on my website and I share, what are some things that I, use in my day to day that I just cannot live without? And that's, thriller books. I love reading thriller books or coffee and my daughter and just stuff like that. That's just going to help, share a little bit more about you that might help you stand out. Share a list of your favorite things that just goes with, stuff you can't live without. I used to share, my favorite movies and my favorite TV shows. And I know I've gotten a few people reach out to me saying, hey, that's my favorite show too. Another thing is you can share where you've been featured, which is great for building that authority. And last, you can share a favorite memory, just different ways of adding stuff about you that is just going to help you stand out and going to build that connection. Okay, now I think this is the last mistake. Yes, I think it is. So losing out on followers and leads. So what I mean by this is when someone goes to your website, Most likely, I would say like 95 to 98% of the time, they are most likely not going to purchase from you. They need more time, but you want to make sure that you are capturing ways that they can continually follow and interact with your brand. So, the ways you can do this is provide a free resource and then you collect the names and emails, so you can continually provide value and you continue to be top of mind. So, ways of doing this is, where you provide a lead magnet. This could be a PDF, a free training. It could be a checklist or an ebook or a quiz. But these are just great ways of capturing their names and their emails so then you can continually email them and be top of mind. And this is going to help build trust and build authority. And so when the time is right for them to purchase, they're going to think of you. So, ways of keeping your brand top of mind, like I said, collect names and emails with freebies and then send out consistent emails. The key here is consistency. You want to make sure that you are sending out, you don't get their name and email and then just ghost them. You send one email and that's it. And you only show up when you're trying to sell something. Make sure if you are going to be collecting emails that you come up with a plan for sending out consistent emails. It doesn't have to be every week, it doesn't have to be every day, but make it consistent. So it could be once a month, send one monthly newsletter, but make it really valuable. Make sure that email that you're sending is, giving these people, exciting these people and giving them something and showing them that you are, part of a solution and that you can provide a quick win. So share really great emails and do it consistently. You can share valuable content consistently, like I just said, and then you can also get people to follow you on social media. So this is another thing. Your website is a great place to promote your Instagram page, your Facebook, your Twitter, whatever platform you prefer. Get people to go follow you on there. And then again, show up consistently with valuable information so you can start building that trust. People can start seeing you as the solution. And that is going to make the biggest difference when it comes to people purchasing from you when they are ready. All right. Well, I hope you had some aha moments today. You got some helpful tips and tactics on how you can enhance your own website to be sure that it is doing what you want it to do, that it is helping in the success of your business. One last tip for you today is once you went in there and you've updated any copy, you've updated your design, my recommendation would be to hand it out to a few people. Give it to your mom, give it to your grandma, your 6-year-old nephew, give them the link and have them go through your website and make sure that everything is reading correctly, that they understand what your services are, that the links are working properly, and that people know how to navigate your site. So that is an idea of just how you can make sure that everyone is understanding what you do and your website is clear and it is not confusing or overwhelming. So that is just an idea for getting some responses on that. Really quickly, I would like to share just how you can work with me on your own website design. So you can work with me to create a completely custom design. So if you have an old website, you're sick of it, you're not proud of it, and you're kind of overwhelmed by all the tech and you just don't have the time or energy to figure out how to create a new website, I'm here to help you with that. I will create you a completely custom design built in the Showit platform. Showit is by far my favorite platform because it is so user-friendly. You can go in there. Once I create the design, you can go in there and upload new images. You can update copy as needed and maintain it down the road whenever you're ready to make updates. But to start with, you will have a completely custom design that represents your brand, your value. It works on mobile, and it is just something that is going to stand out from the crowd. So that is something I can help you with. As well as if you're more into DIY, we have Showit website templates that you can go purchase and go update yourself. Again, Showit is super easy, but I also provide video training guides. So I walk you through exactly how to update images, how to update copy, how to publish, how to launch it. It is all in there and it is super simple. And the last way you can work with me is a website VIP day. So I will work with you with a Showit template, whether it is one from my shop or it is someone else's. I will actually work with Tonic Shop or Saffron Avenue or Norfolk, anyone who designs a Showit website template. I will go in there and customize it for you with your brand name. So I know technology can be a little intimidating and that you just might not have the time to go in there and customize a Showit template. I will do that for you all in one day. So those are the 3 ways to work with me. If you would like to learn more on how we can work together and really level up your website, head to my website, which is sonarisastudio.com, and fill out one of those project inquiry forms, and I will be in touch with more information on that. But thank you so much for making it this far in the training, and I hope today was helpful. I'll see you next time.